This news update is brought to you by...
Don't you deserve a little me time? Play catch up and binge watch full seasons of your favorite TV shows. Available on video on demand from Flow. Simply press the VOD button on your Flow remote. This is how we do TV. This is how we flow.
It's Thursday, February the 25th, 2016, and this is your Barbados Today Morning News Update. I'm Emmanuel Joseph. Thanks for joining us. In our top story, the Caribbean Development Bank is predicting a 0.9% economic decline for Barbados this year, exactly half of what the Central Bank of Barbados forecast about 2 months ago. The region is expected to grow at an average rate of 0.3% in 2016, with the Turks and Caicos Islands to record the highest 5.4%, followed by St. Kitts and Nevis at 4.5% and Dominica at 3.9% economic growth. Addressing the CDB's annual media conference yesterday morning, Director of Economics Dr. Justin Ram warned that unless the government implements significant structural reforms and drive down the debt-to-GDP ratio, which stood at about 131% at the end of last year, then growth would be low.
Now, in Barbados, what we have found is that although tourism arrival numbers have increased significantly, and particularly in 2015, arrivals have increased by about almost 15%, the value added associated with this has not been as strong. And in fact, in 2015, the value added was only about 0.9%, which, as I said in my earlier statement, reflects the fact that perhaps tourists are not spending as much as they did before, and most significantly, they're not staying as long as they did before. So really, there needs to be a program to get greater value added out of the tourism product. In addition to this, the government is in the midst of an austerity program. And as you would recall that in 2015 and even before that, there were some considerable layoffs within the public sector, leading to an overall decline in employment. And that is now feeding through into the economy. So we expect that to have a somewhat negative impact on growth, and hence the reason for the low growth rate forecast in 2016.
Embattled former CLICO Executive Chairman Leroy Parris could find out today if he must repay $3.3 million to the company. Parris's lawyers, Vernon Smith QC and Hal Gollop QC, filed an application before the High Court on February the 4th, seeking reversal of an earlier ruling that the former insurance boss forfeits the $3.3 million after a forensic audit had allegedly found that the monies were obtained through a fraudulent transaction. The following day, the lawyers convinced the sitting judge that any further steps to force Parris to pay it should be put on hold pending the outcome of the matter. Now, Parris will head to court this morning, and legal sources told Barbados Today it was possible that the judge could rule on the matter at that sitting. The lawsuit against Parris was filed by CLICO judicial manager Leroy Consulting, which has asked for the refund, alleging that the money was obtained from CLICO in breach of trust and fiduciary duty. More Barbadians are in support of banning corporal punishment in schools than ever before. In fact, within the past 10 years, support for corporal punishment in schools has fallen by 90%. And an expert pollster is predicting that in the next few years, those who continue to support the cause will be in the minority. According to Peter Wickham, the principal director of the Caribbean Development Research Services, CADRES, while most countries in the region continue to support corporal punishment, there seems to be a changing wind sweeping across the country. In sports now, Barbados Pride are set to train this morning ahead of tomorrow's start of the 8th round WICB Professional Cricket League 4-day match against Jamaica Scorpions at Sabina Park. The Pride squad, captained by West Indies Test opener Craig Brathwaite, arrived in the island yesterday and is scheduled for its lone practice session at Sabina Park today. Barbados Pride are second in the PCL points table with 90 points, while the Jamaica-based franchise is third with 80 points. Defending champions Guyana Jaguars lead with 107 points.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Best this big weekend. Bring all your family and all your friends. Don't be foolish, you got the plan. Cause I'm bringing Dolly, Doocy and Dan. Don't be pusillanimous. You got to go and get your tickets at all the bus offices. AgriFest 2016. A raffle amount of entertainment, a humongous amount of agricultural projects. AgriFest for you, AgriFest for me. Dun, 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 dun. AgriFest, dun, 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 dun.
Secure your future, be financially strong. Since 1983, we have been there for you. A smart range of products, great tax benefits. We're the solution to your hopes and your dreams. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union. Humble beginnings to smart loans, smart savings. Save smart and borrow smarter. That's the move for me. Stability, prosperity. We're the solution to your hopes and your dreams. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union.
Turning now to news from the region, Antigua and Barbuda's opposition United Progressive Party has given the government a February 28th ultimatum to further reduce the cost of fuel. The party warns that if its demands are not met, the opposition will step up its protest action against the administration.
During the 2016 budget speech, Prime Minister Gaston Brown announced a reduction of the price of gasoline from $13.50 to $12.50 and diesel from $13.20 to $12.20 per gallon, which took effect on February 1st. The United Progressive Party has, however, requested that the Gaston Brown-led administration further reduce the cost of fuel to $10 per gallon. Senator Jackie Quinn is of the opinion that the reduction by the government was not sufficient.
We in the United Progressive Party, as we speak on behalf of the people of this nation of Antigua and Barbuda, we say that this is unconscionable. We say that this is disrespectful. We use even stronger terms. We say that this is wicked.
As thousands of Jamaicans journey to the polls today to elect a new government, police say while they are committed to executing a broad-based plan, they will keep a keen eye on some polling divisions with a bad reputation of election day misdeeds. Divisional Commander of Police Superintendent Bew Reed Gabby said special focus will be trained on these hot spots spread over both constituencies of St. Thomas Western and St. Thomas Eastern. Pundits believe today's election will be a battle down to the wire as the two main parties, the ruling People's National Party of Portia Simpson Miller and the opposition Jamaica Labour Party led by Andrew Holness, fight for office. And Guyana's Prime Minister Moses Nakamutu says guns collected during the country's gun amnesty program that started last September 1st could be legally returned to owners who live in remote communities. The opposition People's Progressive Party, Civic, had rejected the amnesty, saying it would not work. HGP-TV's Travis Chase reports.
186 firearms, including one AK-47 assault rifle, were turned into the police. The police commissioner said that the force's crime lab has completed ballistic tests on the guns handed in, but
the ballistic test done so far hasn't been linked to crime, but as I said over and over, and I had to do a correction in one of the dailies recently, is that we didn't expect that people who use firearms to commit robberies and so on as the only means of providing for themselves and their family will turn in those firearms.
And on the international scene, the former director of the Central Intelligence Agency, or CIA, says he would be frightened of a Donald Trump presidency based on what the Republican frontrunner has said about Mexicans, immigrants, and preventing Muslims from entering the U.S. General Michael Hayden, who also served as the head of the National Security Agency, says such policies would be destructive for America.
And you've got candidate Trump there pulling in about a third of the Republican electorate, who I understand. They're angry. There's a lot of frustration. They're kind of embracing a primal scream. But you can't govern with a primal scream. And I think a lot of Americans are wondering what's behind that and what would we get out of that candidate if he ever were to become president. Caddy, I've said in other venues, and I'll repeat for your British audience, if he governs in any way consistent with some of the things he's said as a candidate, I would be very frightened.
And that's news and sports. However, you can join us again this afternoon for more. Until then, remember to log on to www.barbadostoday.bb, subscribe to our e-paper, email updates, or like us on Facebook. You can also catch us on Izumi Media in bus terminals or screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. Also tune in to Channel 101 on Flow TV and to Mix 96.9 FM to get the latest news and sports. I'm Emmanuel Joseph. Have a fantastic day.